Good evening, everyone.
Good evening,
Okay,
doctor.
once again, good evening. Once again, we are back here with this series on autism lifespan management. Today, we are doing our seventh session in that series. So, the participants who are new here, who have not seen or not been there in the earlier sessions, you can go on my YouTube channel and see the previous sessions. I have already shared the link in my chat. So as usual, initially we'll begin with 35 minutes to 40 minutes of presentation that I want to share with you. A talk on sensory integration, the topic today is, and post this talk, I'll be open for question and answers. Meanwhile, I'm requesting participants to kindly put your names, your city and country in the chat box, just to get introduced to you all who is there. So we are doing this series for parents and professional to support on topic autism lifespan management series. So we have done on topics 1 to 6 already. So understanding autism spectrum disorder from early signs to diagnosis, understanding the brain and behavior in autism, early childhood 0 to 5 years, building foundations, then the school readiness and inclusion 5 to 10 years, communication and language development across ages, behavior management and emotional regulation, now this week, today we are doing sensory integration and daily life management. Sensory integration is very important part of our life. And often in children with autism, people with autism, we find sensory difficulties, integration difficulties. So let us just understand. I'm beginning this with this slide, like what is sensory integration? Sensory integration is the brain's ability to receive sensory information, organize sensory input, and respond appropriately. So sensory processing differences are one of the most important yet misunderstood concept of autism. They are very important concept in autism, but yet misunderstood. Somebody has the touch screen phone and you have touched on the screen and the line has come. So I'm just resharing my presentation. So kindly avoid touching the screen if you have a touch screen phone. Just give me one moment. I'll have to reshare to avoid that line. So sensory integration is the brain's ability to receive information, organize it, and respond appropriately. Coordinate all these senses, organize and respond. The whole process is known as sensory integration. How do we receive information, sensory information? How do we receive? So let us first look at the slide on sensory system. We receive information from our environment through our sensory system. So most people only know that there are 5 senses. In general, when we talk in layman's language, we say there are 5 senses. In Hindi or Sanskrit, we call it Panchindriya. So these are 5. Which are those 5 senses? Visual, auditory, tactile, gustatory, and olfactory. We can call them our easier way: sight, hearing, touch, smell, and taste. These are our 5 senses that we'll see. We get the visual input through our sight, through our eyes, auditory input through our ears, hearing, tactile is touch when we touch through our skin, and then taste through our tongue, and olfactory smell through our nose. So these are the 5 senses. Now, when we are getting information from our eyes, from our auditory system, and brain receives the information and then coordinates with it. Okay. Imagine you're watching a movie. So, a film, video film, or a movie. There you have visual as well as you have the hearing, auditory also at the same time. Brain is receiving both signals from eyes and from hearing. What if there is a delay in auditory processing? The screen will move faster and audio you will hear later. Will you be able to enjoy that movie where screen is moving fast and then audio is coming little late? because the coordination aspect will be missing. So that is the sensory integration. That's what our sensory system does. So in general, in layman's language, we say there are 5 senses, but scientifically, when we talk about therapeutically, there are 8 senses. There are 3 more additional sensory systems. What are those? Vestibular, proprioception, and interoception. So the vestibular is body's balance and movement. Body automatically it adjusts the balance and movement. When you walk, when you're climbing over the hill, automatically body bends down. Or when you are taking stairs, automatically your body bends down. Automatically your body balances sitting postures. If you are sitting on a chair, chair is comfortable with handles, comfortable cushions, you sit in different position. If you're sitting on a stool, which does not have back, just a flat stool, you sit more alert, you sit differently. That is your vestibular system that is automatically adjusting towards. Then comes the proprioception. Proprioception is body's position and muscle symbol. So even if we don't see our body, but we have awareness about our body's position, where the body is, where the parts are. Like, for an example, you close your eyes right now and raise your hand. You know your hand where it is, even if you're not looking at your hand, but you know where the hand is. How do you know this? Information from your muscles, from your joints is reaching to the brain about body's position. This is how we know. Even if I close my eyes, then also I know that I'm sitting on a chair right now. And this sense helps us a lot when we are driving, when we are traveling in a train or in a bus. We keep on adjusting as per the bus moment, as per the uh, train movement or driving moment. We keep on adjusting our body's position. So vestibular balances and proprioception tells us where the body is. Then comes interoception, internal body senses. I come to know that I am hungry. I come to know that I have stomachache, or I have headache, or I have backache. How do I come to know that? I have some stiffness in my muscles. I am feeling uneasy. I mean, why? How do I come to know that? So senses from my internal organs, senses from my internal body, which I receive, that is interoception. So altogether, we have 8 sensory systems, and these systems are most often affected in autism. Either the system is affected or the coordination part, the integration of it, that is affected. And that's where the sensory integration starts. The challenge is sensory integration. Because of this sensory integration issues, children have many behaviors, many concerns. They have difficulties in their daily routine, children with autism or adults with autism. So why sensory integration matters? Children and adults with autism often experience sensory overload, sensory seeking behaviors, difficulty with daily routines, and emotional dysregulation. That sensory processing affects everyday's function. We'll look into sensory overload just now. So first is sensory behaviors. Let's look at it. What are the sensory behaviors? Many behaviors seen in autism are actually sensory response rather than behavioral problem. When I am getting too much of input, I try to shut down my input, try to manage what I'm receiving, and that is my meltdown. I'm getting too much of input, and I'm not able to process. I'm not able to integrate. Then what do? I go into stage of shutting down. I close my ears, I close my eyes, because already there is an input which is left to be processed. So I want input to stop. Our senses keep on taking input 24/7. Even while sleeping, our senses are still active. Not up to that stage, but still they are active. That is why when you are sleeping, suddenly there is a sound, some noise. You wake up because your auditory sense is working. If somebody switches on the light in your room, you wake up, though your eyes are closed, because your sight sense is working even if the eyes are closed. You are getting that light input from the eyelids. So senses keep on working 24/7. Brain is receiving information 24/7. Brain is processing that information. Wherever there is a delay in that processing, then what brain does is brain shuts down the more input. Brain says, stop, don't give me any more input until I process the existing one. Once I process the existing one, you can continue giving me the input. So covering ears, avoiding closing our eyes, these are, or avoiding certain types of clothes, tactile input I don't want, refusing certain foods, I don't want taste input anymore. So all of this is sensory behavior. And challenges, I mean, big challenges, constant movement or jumping. Now coordination is happening on a slower speed. So brain says, give me more input. I'm not able to coordinate. You are giving me very slow. So give me faster input. That becomes sensory seeking behavior. There, I want more input. So children, they show sensory avoidance behavior, sensory seeking behavior, different types of sensory behaviors are there. This I have already explained it to you. Sensory system, yes. So sensory processing differences in autism. In autism, what happens is children may show hypersensitivity, over responsive, covering ears, avoiding lights, and avoiding touch. Hyposensitive, under responsive, where the processing is happening slow, brain seeks more information. So not responding to pain. Sorry, where brain is not able to, senses are not able to give proper signals. That is hyposensitivity. So not responding to pain, poor awareness about body position, your proprioception, your interoception, when the senses are not working properly, then you get hyposensitivity. Then we have third thing is sensory seeking behavior. When process the information is coming to brain, not at a very fast pace, but slower pace. So brain is processing and but brain is needing more information, faster information. So spinning, jumping, touching everything, going and touching, many children come and complain, many parents complain. Child comes and touches the skin, touches here, pinches. All of these behaviors, many of them are sensory seeking behaviors. They are because of the sensory processing concerns in children. So common sensory challenges are children with autism may struggle with loud sounds, bright lights, certain textures, crowded places, food textures. Because of that, they become picky eaters. They avoid social gatherings. They avoid the crowd because of crowded places. They avoid going to the public places. How everyday environment can become overwhelming for a child. Imagine, imagine an environment of shopping mall, school assemblies, birthday parties, or when child goes for haircuts in a barber shop or saloon. Or just imagine what all child sees there, how the sensory are working. To give you a visualization, I want to share just 2 minutes video. This video is about a child who goes with his mother to a shopping mall. A child who is having sensory processing difficulties goes to shopping mall. Just listen to this video, I mean auditory and video, connect the dots, try to understand what child faces. Just give me one moment, I'm sharing that. It's 2 minutes video, so you'll have to have patience for 2 minutes and watch it. Are you able to hear the sound? No? Give me one. I'll just start the sound. Now I believe you'll be able to hear the sound.
7, 8, 9.
Take my hand.
It's fine, isn't it? It's fine. I'm not naughty. I'm autistic. And I just get too much information.
Can anyone explain me what did you see just now? Any of you, anyone? I request any one of you, please unmute and just explain.
There were, I would like to please.
Yeah,
There
please.
were a lot of inputs for the little baby. There were a lot of sounds, lot of things to visualize, kind of whatever sensory input we say. The sensory overload was there. So he became confused and he showed behavior.
Exactly. Child was hypo-auditory sensitive, so even the coin, when it fell down, that was disturbing the child. Ambulance sound was disturbing the child. Small sounds which we generally ignore in a shopping mall that were bothering. Child was overwhelmed, overloaded with sensory information, and child wanted to run away from that environment. This is just one environment. Our children who have sensory processing difficulties, round the clock, they go through such many environments when they travel in traffic, when they go to school, when they come go for a shopping mall, go to the garden. Imagine the challenges they are facing in their life. That's why sensory integration topic is important. We need to support them in sensory integration. I'm coming back to my slides. So this is just shopping mall environment. You can think of school assemblies, birthday parties, haircuts, barber shops. All of this you can think of. Sensory challenges in daily life. Sensory issues affect their dressing, eating, sleeping, toileting, school participation. Child refuses certain clothes because of tactile sensitivity. Food refusals because of texture sensitivity. Difficulty sleeping because of sensory regulation issues. So these are the common challenges child faces on daily life. Sensory issues in behavior. Many behaviors are sensory driven, not intentional. So meltdown, aggression, avoidance, hyperactivity, many behaviors are sensory driven behaviors. So when we are working on the behavior of the child, when we understand what are the prime concerned behaviors, we first do a detailed observation of the child, analysis, try to understand, is it a sensory behavior or is it intentional behavior? So if it is sensory behavior, we provide the sensory integration support. If it is intentional behavior, then we handle it differently. Tantrums and meltdowns, two examples. So tantrums are, how do I differentiate? Tantrums are goal oriented. I want a chocolate at a shop. I start crying, screaming. I lie down on the floor. I refuse to come out of the store before buying the chocolate. That is goal driven. The moment you give the chocolate, I'm happy. My crying and everything, all tantrums stop. That is tantrum. Meltdown is, that's what we exactly saw just now in the video. That is meltdown, sensory overload. So a meltdown happens when the nervous system is overwhelmed. Understanding this helps parents respond with support rather than punishment. So signs, how do I know that my child has sensory overload? There are indicators. Covering ears or eyes, crying suddenly, running away, aggressive behavior, withdrawal. Withdrawal is when child is overwhelmed, child wants to withdraw. No more sensory input required. I want to withdraw from everything. I want to withdraw from activity. I want to withdraw whatever I was doing. I just want to don't want to listen to you. All of this is sensory overload. So sensory overload occurs when the brain receives more sensory input than it can process. Early recognition helps prevention escalation. Parents and teachers should watch for early warning signs. Then sensory seeking, that was overwhelmed, where more input is coming. Seeking is when less input is coming and I'm looking for more input in order to coordinate. So some children actively seek sensory input by spinning, jumping, chewing objects, touching surfaces, crashing into furniture. So sensory seeking is often a self-regulation attempt. That my sensory processing has deficit, things are sensory information is not being processed properly. I need more input. So I seek that input. The nervous system is trying to obtain input that helps to organize the brain. Instead of stopping these behaviors completely, we don't work on stopping sensory behaviors. We provide sensory seeking behaviors. We provide safe alternatives. So with sensory overwhelming, we provide them less of sensory input because it is coming too much. So controlled sensory environment. And with sensory seeking, we provide them excess of extra sensory input. We give them options, safe alternatives to get that in the sensory input. And it impacts across the lifespan. It is not only at the childhood. It also affects the school life, social interaction, workplace functioning, and community participation. So throughout life, if a person has sensory processing disorder, it impacts, but it can be managed. Solution is sensory integration therapy that is given by the trained occupational therapist. So that can start. We also have the solution as sensory diet and strategies, different strategies to support. Different strategies parents and teachers can have in the school and home to support. So sensory diet. Yeah.
Doctor, can you brief on sensory diet?
Yes, I'm coming to that, ma'am. So
Okay.
sensory diet it is a diet plan. As you have diet plan for your nutrition, as you have diet plan for your food. So similarly, we have a diet plan for sensory input. So sensory diet is a planned set of sensory activities throughout the day. So first we do the analysis of the child's sensory needs. Then we list out the activities and structure those activities, add them within the daily routine of the child. Like child can do jumping before taking shower, 10 times of jumping, and then child takes shower. So all these needs of sensory input, what child requires, first we need to do the analysis of that. Usually occupational therapists who are trained on sensory integration, they do this sensory diet planning. And they incorporate, one side is sensory integration therapy with the balancing, proprioception, interoception, all those activities, they do it at the clinical setup. But same time, they add on the activities, list of activities in daily routine of the child. That's called sensory diet. It has nothing to eat, nothing to do with it. Diet doesn't mean that we have something to eat. So sensory diet is list of activities that are required for the child throughout the day, which can be incorporated in child's daily routine. And it can help in sensory integration. So it improves regulation, increases attention, and reduces meltdowns. Some sensory strategies for parents I want to share here at home, but use the strategies as per your child needs. Each child is different, each child needs are different. So analyze the child needs and accordingly use the strategies. Here are just a few strategies, tips I want to give you. Creating predictable routines, reducing sensory triggers. So first we need to analyze what are the triggers? What are the sensory triggers that bother my child? If my child is auditory hypersensitive, child is getting more input on auditory system, then I need to make sure that in my house environment, I don't have, louder sounds. Or even if I have to cook in the kitchen, I avoid cooking in the pressure cooker because the whistle of pressure cooker can bother my child. Grinder sound can bother my child. Motorbike sound can bother my child. All those motor sounds may bother the child if child is auditory hypersensitive. So we need to first do the analysis, understand how would we do this analysis. One is occupational therapist support we can take, but till the time we are going to take the support, we can start it today itself. Just observe your child. Observation is the key. Observe your child. When child is getting agitated, when child, you see the facial expressions are changing, you see child is going into meltdown, going into withdrawal. What has happened just before that? What was the environment child was into? Do the analysis of environment. Once you do the environment means the physical settings where child is, people child is around with, and the material child is using. So what materials, not necessarily child is using, we are using at that time. So if we are using mixer grinder, I see the child getting disturbed. I understand this is the sound that is bothering me. Or child is not at home. We have taken child out in a garden. We see child is getting disturbed. So we understand maybe the sensory input through visual, through auditory is bothering. Yes, somebody wanted to ask something.
Sir, I just wanted to ask that when a child is having his screen time, so is it a way to regulate his senses? Because my child is 9 years old now, and whenever there is screen time, na, he doesn't watch the screen like this directly. He just put on some little sound in it, and then he hears it from here. So, what is the reason? He doesn't watch the video. He doesn't look at the screen. He just
You mean
put it
you
on
mean to say
the
he
ears.
just wants, so you mean to say he just wants the auditory input, but he avoids
Yes,
the sight input.
yes.
So a detailed
So,
analysis, Neelamri, we need to do.
okay,
You need to see it's only with the screen or it's with other colors, other things also. Is it with particular colors like bright colors, red color, yellow color, green color, or is it with pastel colors also? So we need to do that detailed analysis of his sight sets. If child is weak,
okay,
this is a very different thing because children nowadays, they love to be on screen. So if your child is
yes,
avoiding the screen, so visual input child is avoiding. Understand? That means too much of visual input is bothering you. So maybe there is slow
okay.
processing for the visual or
And mainly
sorry,
he sees the
hyper
videos
processing.
of,
Hmm.
and mainly he sees the video of opening of the chocolate. That wrapper sound is there. Then
Hmm.
sketching. So while sketching,
So then
the
seeking,
scratching
that
sound
is
is there.
auditory seeking. So that is auditory seeking. That sound, he is enjoying that sound. It is auditory
Yes,
seeking
yes.
based.
Okay.
Yes. So what
Then
we can
bursting
do
of
is
the balloon.
can create,
Huh.
yeah, we can create a sensory diet for the child and give him those inputs. We don't have to avoid this behavior, but first list down which all inputs he is seeking. Observe your child for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, what all inputs he is seeking throughout the day. Observe that, you make a list of it. And those inputs, how we can give to the child in the daily routine, similar inputs, but in a way, in a positive way, that child gets that input and child is learning from that input.
Okay.
So let us use this as a strength.
Okay.
Say chocolate wrapper sound. So
Yeah.
which are other items that can make chocolate wrapper sound? Can those items be utilized in therapy of the child, in development, skill development of the child? So similar wrapper, like chocolate wrapper, you can bring similar paper. Child is 9 years old. So similar polythene paper kind of thing, you can bring it, which makes the similar sound, would be easily available, not difficult. And with that, you can
Yes.
do a lot of activities where you can work on gross motors, fine motors, and other areas with the
Mm.
child. But need to see whether child really needs those activities, whether gross motors, fine motors deficits are there, we need to work on that. So catch hold of child's sensory needs as strength. Give that sensory input
Okay.
within the daily activities, make it as strength. But don't stop that input. Child is needing that input, let us give that input. Not a problem. It is not harming us.
Okay.
Yeah, and for
Yes, sir.
visual, I would suggest that we will have to screen the child. Again, be observant, expose the child to different colors of screen. Is it only with screen or with photographs also that you need to see? Is it only
Okay.
with mobile phone screen or TV screen also that we need to see?
Okay.
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 And then expose different colors to the child, like red color t-shirt, yellow color t-shirt, and then you see child's reactions, facial reactions. Is child
Okay.
avoiding those? Then we will understand what are his sensory needs for the sight.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So sensory strategies parents can try at home, creating predictable routines, reducing sensory triggers, providing calming sensory activities. So sensory triggers, once you do observation of your child, you understand what is bothering my child. If something is bothering and child is getting disturbed, so you need to reduce those triggers. Like I said, an example, mixer grinder sound. Many children who are hypersensitive, they get bothered with mixer grinder sound. So you need to avoid playing using mixer grinder in front of child. Or when you are going to use it, that time you need to occupy child in some favorable activities. That child is watching TV or child is doing painting. So child is too engrossed there. Child is not using much of the ear sense, much of the hearing sense. Or take the child out for some time and then use it. Likewise, you need to reduce triggers. Provide calming sensory activities. Noise that, which are those calming sensory activities? Like the meditation, calming music. On my YouTube channel also, I have a tunnel, a music tunnel. I can share that link in the webinar group. And that music tunnel works really good with the children who have auditory and sight visual things. So Nilamri, you can also try this with your child and see. Show him that video and look at the reactions, how child reacts to that. It has
Okay.
multiple
He
colors.
hears it. He hears it. He hears the sound.
No, I'm saying try to show him that tunnel and
Okay.
analyze. I will
Okay.
share the video in the group. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So
Thank you,
that
sir.
is for the sensory calming for hyperactive children. So noise reducing headphones we can give them, weighted blankets, children who like touch, so you give them weighted blankets, soft lighting. At home you should have lighting soft, and quiet corner for calm. So we should have a safe zone, a safe quiet corner in the house where child can go and sit, relax, calm down and come back. So whenever child feels there's a lot of sensory overload, like in the visual, just now we saw the video, child was feeling there's sensory overload. Now child wants to run away from that environment. Where the child will run away? Okay, in the shopping mall, child will run away outside. But at home, if there is sensory overload, where the child will go? So in your house, there should be a small corner. If you have a bigger house, you give the room. If you don't have, there should be a small corner in the bedroom or some room where child can peacefully go, sit. You keep some blankets, some pillows there, some soft toys there, which child can just press and relax. Let child be there for some time. Let him come back. So initially, when you see the signs of sensory overload, you put the child there, take the child there. Initially, for 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, you do it. Even a child of 4 years, 5 years starts going to that place automatically after 5 times. Because child feels more comfortable there, so automatically child starts going there. So they learn to regularize, self-regularize themselves. Okay. Sensory strategies at school. So if we have teachers here, you can use sensory strategies at school, like provide movement breaks. A long duration of sitting, if the child is sensory seeker, you need to provide movement breaks. So give them, okay, get up, jump 10 times, sit down. Get up, go there, bring this book, or touch there and come back. Breaks, small, short breaks. Like after 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you give one break, child comes back and child is again regulated. Using flexible seating. Child should not be made sitting at one place all the time. So sometime here, sometime next place, sometime next place. Likewise, you need to use flexible sitting. Child should be allowed to sit where child feels more comfortable. Reducing classroom noise. Classroom noise, like in a shopping mall, we have seen the noise just now. In classroom also, there are a lot of such noises that it can bother to hyperactive, auditory hyperactive children. Like a pen is dropping down. Another child is turning the pages of a book. That sound we don't even realize. But to a hypersensitive child, that sound bothers. So all these sounds in the classroom, we need to reduce. Offer sensory tools like therapy ball sitting, fidget tools, and quiet space for regulation. Again, quiet space, fidget tools, those tools that child can keep on moving, playing with them, and therapy ball sittings. So teachers should understand that these tools improve learning. Punishment is not the solution. Many of the times we see, due to lack of awareness, children get punishment because of their sensory seeking behavior. They have sensory seeking behavior in the school, they show some behaviors and they get punished. We need to create sensory friendly environment. What are those? How we can create with dim lighting, reduced noise, clear visual structure, and predictable routines we can create. So modifying the environment is often more effective than trying to change a child. Now we run a residential rehab center for adults with autism. And usually children who are, we don't take every child, we take selective children who are very severe on their autism spectrum, who cannot be managed at home. So until and unless we are convinced that child can be managed at home, we don't take the admission. Because we don't want child to go into a rehab, child as in an adult to go into a rehab, live away from family. But when we realize that child is so hyperactive that cannot be managed at home, concerns are so high, that time we give them admission. Now, the moment they come to our place, within first 15 days, we ask the parent to be with us for first 2 days, 3 days, give us all inputs about the child, our team understands, and then we ask them to go back and come back after 15 days. So from the day they go, they come back after 15 days, after 2 weeks. And they say miracles are happening. Even the doctors, Dr. Pooja Vajratkar, Dr. Kanan Doshi, people, Dr. Sushila Sarandar, people who have visited the facility, people who have seen the improvement in children, they say there are miracles happening. This was never possible. I say we don't have a magic stick to do miracles. First 15 days, the initial improvement. Later on, we need to do a lot of work with children. But the initial improvement, we don't do any work with the child. What we do is just modify the environment. Understand the child needs and modify the environment. 35 to 40% success we receive there, even in these severe cases. So environment plays a big role in any child's life. So you need to work on the environment more than working on the child. And what is environment? Consists of 3 things: people, physical settings, and the material child is using. So the moment they get into a structured routine, the moment they have environment which is friendly for them, which is modified as per their needs, we see the improvement in children. Parents should become sensory detectives. That is one message, the last message for you all, that you should become sensory detectives. You are detectives from today and start observing your child. What is triggering my child? Why meltdowns is coming? What has happened before that? Before that, what was the environment? Who were the people involved? Where the child was? Was there sound in the environment? Was there visual input? What was the input? Was my child hungry? And what was the material I was using? Mixer grinder, or material child was using, playing with paper or ball, or what was happening? Answer is there. So you need to behave as if you are a detective, but sensory detective. You are focusing on all 8 senses and trying to detect where the lack is, where my child is struggling. Provide the support for those senses, and you see the beautiful recovery in children with autism, adults with autism. Sensory input directly affects emotional regulation, attention, behavior, and learning readiness. So it is not only confined toward only till the daily activities, but it also affects their learning readiness, it affects their behavior, attention, emotions. So it is the most important aspect of a child with autism spectrum. That's all with my talk today. We have a mission. These are some children from our rehab center. You see Anthony, you see Kanishk, Fabian, Mohit, and then we have Shivam, Akshay. And to support their residential care, their lifetime care, we are seeking some funds, some support from you all. So I'll be sharing this PPT in the group. The PPT at last has this page where we have our QR code and even Google Pay, Phone Pay, Paytm numbers. So anything that you want to support with, we have recently started the vocational training programs for them, and we could do a lot of things. Now we are doing a lot of things with these children. With the support, 2 of the members here, last time also I mentioned, Nilamri Karoshi and Meridas Painting, both are the special parents. They have supported us, and with their support, my children are growing. They are learning things, and we are trying to make them self-independent. The financial freedom we want to give them. So soon we are targeting Diwali this year. So say by the month of October, we will have the whole list of items. Items would be ready to be sold that are made by our children. Handicraft items. We are focusing on handicrafts. So because what I realized is initially when I see such kind of rehab centers, mostly they are making candles, soaps, and envelopes, rakhi. But those items are very seasonal. Handicrafts is something people keep on buying for their decoration of home, for festivals, for giftings. So that could be around the clock business for them. And my children are getting a lot of therapeutical intervention in doing handicrafts because their sensory system, their the motor systems, fine motors, gross motors, everything is improving. And luckily, many of them, I mean, 3 of them are very good with art and painting. So those skills we are utilizing in handicrafts. So I seek support from you all. I'll be sharing this in the group, this PPT. Last page of the PPT has the QR code. And we are 12A ATG, the all income tax rebates are there. So towards the end of the financial year, we will be issuing the certificates also to the supporters, which you can utilize for your income tax rebate. Thank you. That's all from my side. Now I'm open to listen to you. I didn't have a look at the chat. Let me just have a look at the chat now. Okay.
Doctor, I have a question.
Yeah, please, ma'am.
So this is regarding you told we have 5 senses, but when we look into it's 8 senses that you were telling. So one of the senses where the child will understand if the child is hungry or not hungry, or any other senses that the child can tell us. Okay. The child whom we have at home, the child has no sense where he can't understand or he can't process in the mind that his stomach is full. So all the time he keeps eating unless we forcefully stop. Otherwise, 24/7, anytime, anything he wants to eat. Somewhere he feels his stomach is not full.
Yes.
So how do we go about with this?
Okay. This is very common in autism. Many children have this concern that they don't understand when they are full. Okay. So this is not exactly the sense. This is gut-brain axis. Let me explain it to you. Gut-brain axis is our digestive system, the gut, intestine, also has similar cells, neuron cells, which are there in the brain. No other body organ has that, but the gut has. And these cells communicate with each other. Dopamine, serotonin are produced in our intestine and they reach to our brain and they are responsible for our mood. They're responsible for many neural functions, cognitive functions, attention, memory. Okay. So the gut sends the signals to brain that I'm full. And there is a delay. There is always a delay in everyone. Okay. So the signal from the gut goes to the brain almost after 1 minute or 2 minutes. There is always a delay. Gut is full. After that, we sends the signal. That is why it is said you should not eat full stomach. You should eat little less. Because if you eat full stomach, you are already overeaten by them. Because by the time signal reaches to the brain, you still eat, keep on eating, right? So then brain realizes, oh, I am full. By the time you are already overfull. Okay. So here the concern is into gut-brain axis, the communication from the gut to the brain.
Okay.
Okay.
So what is the solution for this, doctor?
See, for solution for this is we need to connect with the dietitians. A detailed diet intervention is required. Dietitians will design the diet plan in this way that child keeps on eating, keeps on getting, but child feels full because they will add on the carbohydrates into the food. So balanced diet. If I just say here, give extra carbohydrates, parents might start giving extra carbohydrates. So 80% of carbohydrates and protein intake might go less, which I don't want to do. So usually in diet, we need to give 40 to 50% of carbohydrates, 15 to 20% of protein, and 25 to 30% of fat. That's what is a regular standard diet that we prescribe. So that balance needs to be maintained. So if I'm increasing carbohydrate percentage, how I need to adjust with fat and protein, that needs to be done by a trained dietitian. They should do.
Okay.
But child will feel full if child has more of the carbohydrates. Then there will not be any space to have food. So this is how we do this. Second way of doing it is we train the child to eat after short durations, but in little quantity. So then we train the child. Just now I showed the photograph to you of Spandan children. So we have one child, Anthony. He's 23, he's now 24. Last year when he came to us, 23, exactly the same situation. And he was like not afraid of danger. He will just jump on person who's eating and pick up.
The same thing, doctor.
Even if you are
He
drinking
does the
tea,
same.
he is like, come and grab your tea. So how did we work on it? We started giving it to him in smaller quantity, repeatedly, and same time we taught him turn taking. So both the concepts together. So diet plan with shorter durations. So after every 1 hour, we are giving something to him to eat. But same time, we are teaching him patience, turn taking. So your turn will come, you will get it. You should not grab it from someone else. And within 3 to 4 months, the problem was solved. Within 3 to 4 months. Now he sits on the dining table, eats with everyone. He doesn't jump on people. He is very much regulated.
What happens is he goes for ABA therapy, and in ABA therapy, they reward him with food because he craves for that eating. So with that, he is doing his work. Otherwise, I don't think he'll be doing anything at all.
Ma'am, in ABA, because I have been practicing ABA, the comprehensive ABA, the refined form of ABA, and in ABA, the concept is you need to have multiple reinforcements. You need to keep on changing the reinforcement. It should never be only one thing or only one type of thing. Only food every time. Different types of food, but not food every time. So it has to be food. It has to be verbal praise. It has to be teddy bear. It has to be some other toy or some other texture. Likewise, we need to change. Number one. Number two, we need to fade the reinforcement also. It's not always that child will keep on getting reinforcement for throughout life. So we need to give reinforcement on variable ratio, fixed ratio. So fixed interval, variable interval. So there are those techniques that I give reinforcement not on every attempt. I give reinforcement initially on every attempt, but then I give it on fixed interval. Every third attempt is being reinforced. Every fifth attempt is being reinforced. Or later on, after fixed interval, what I do is I go for the variable interval. That child knows I will get reward or I will not get reward. So randomly I give. Second time I give, then fifth time I give. So this is called fading. And slowly I increase the duration. So after every fifth, then I make it second, third, fourth, seventh, random things. And then I increase the duration. So I fade. Child gets reward one time only in the day. So if you need to speak to the ABA therapists who are working, tell them not to put the child only on the food reward. That needs to be corrected. Okay, the reward, you should have the variety in reinforcement.
Okay. Thank you,
If you need
doctor.
any support, I can connect with the therapist and I can share my inputs and they can, I'm sure they are qualified and they are doing it perfectly. With due respect, but with due respect, I can share inputs from my experience.
Okay,
If it is
doctor.
required, you connect with me and I'll do that. No problems. Okay.
Thank you, doctor.
So initially when ABA therapy had come, and there you will see the controversies about ABA. There are many controversies. And they say it was designed for pets, not for a human being. You give the food and dog picks up the food. You give the ball, dog does the
That's how we train them.
Yes, that's how we train them. So ABA was designed for pets. People say this. There was controversy that children become robotic in ABA. Children become dependent on reinforcement. Without reinforcement, they don't do. So ABA is science. It is based upon principles. If you do not practice foundations correctly, you don't get the right outcomes. And then you blame ABA. That should not be done. So foundations of ABA, the principles of ABA should be followed properly. And we call it
Okay.
comprehensive ABA nowadays, because comprehensive as in we have added on sensory integration also into ABA. So we
Okay.
have done a pilot project, Dr. Kanan Doshi and me. Dr. Kanan Doshi is an occupational therapist with 32 years experience in JKP. She's associated with us. And at her center, we have done pilot project for last 2 years. We are running Sensi ABA. That's the product what we are named as. And we are going to take it to other centers soon. So Sensi ABA is sensory integration clubbed with ABA, the approach.
Okay.
So the ABA principles, sensory integration, and it is giving wonderful results to us. Earlier, she is using sensory and NDT, both approaches together. Usually, professionals use one approach, sensory integration, or the approach of NDT, but she has already clubbed on her own, she has clubbed sensory integration and NDT. And that is giving good results. So we have to try new things, but based
I know.
upon the principles. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, doctor.
Okay, so in chat we have Bhagirathi, Bhagirathi Amandi from Port Louis, Mauritius. Yes, glad to see you, Bhagirathi. I'm missing Mauritius. I'm going to come there soon. Last year on the Independence Day, I was there, which is approaching on 11th of March, I guess. Mauritius Independence Day is there. So advance wishes to you for the Independence Day. Sudha ma'am is here, yes, and then Vashni from Mauritius. Welcome, Vashni. Welcome. Best wishes for the Independence Day. Mrs. Selvini Ramasay Pillai, Mauritius. Welcome. Nishat Khan Suri from Indore, parent. Welcome, ma'am. Prishni from Shemegrenier, Mauritius. Welcome. Then we have Sanchita Basu, ma'am, from New Delhi. Welcome, ma'am. Glad to see you here. And then we have Ishuri and Anshika from Mauritius, welcome. Mrs. Apuru, Mrs. Sokapuru is also here. Oh, I'm glad to see you, ma'am. So all those senior professionals, I'm seriously very happy to see you all. And okay, Kolal Kishore said, can you repeat interoception once again? Okay. What is interoception? This is one sense. This is a sense of the body that gives us the sensations from internal. How do you come to know that you have gastric issue or you have some burning inside your stomach after having very heavy food, fatty food, or some extra masala food? How do we come to know that my stomach is aching or I have headache? So our organs communicate with our brain. This is the sense through interoception. So through interoception, our organs communicate their state with our brain. That is the sense that's called interoception. So Kakati, you understood this? You can unmute if you have questions. I'm ready to answer them. Biplop Day, visually inattentive and poor eye fixation. That was inattentive, okay, and poor eye fixation. That could be the answer in response to Nilambri's question, probably, when we were discussing about the screen. No sound, okay, then the sound came, lot of noise around the kid. Yes, there was a lot of noise. Not only the noise, but visual input also. So child was getting a lot of visual input, colors, lot of things to process. Yeah, there was a person who was sitting with shoelace open. Child with autism
Doctor,
regulated.
one more thing, when you in that video, we could see the child was actually counting. Maybe to overcome the sensory thing,
Yes,
was he counting?
To regulate.
Yeah.
So many children in autism do repetition. We say repetition, oh, this is part of autism. This is very common in autism. Why do they do repetition? Why do they keep on repeating things or keep on humming sounds? It's sensory regulation. See, when I want to close my input, see, brain is occupied. Brain has got a lot of input. Understand, you have a sugarcane juice machine, which is like this, and you are putting sugar canes and juice is coming. You put extra sugar canes, machine becomes jam. So what you do is, You take out one sugarcane, then let the other sugarcanes flow, then enter. So similarly, brain is working. Brain is getting inputs. Now, when the input is coming too fast, brain is not able to process. What brain does is stops the input. How do I stop the input? One way is I close. Input is stopped. The other way is I produce familiar input
From my
so that
end.
the new input is not coming. Familiar input brain has already processed. So the humming sound which I don't do new humming sound. What I've heard somewhere before, I keep on doing the same thing. I don't do new sound, because I'm familiar. Or I keep on singing the song. I keep on repeating things. Okay, why I do that? Because brain is busy processing. So I'm giving the familiar input to brain that brain does not need to process. Because brain already knows this input. We already know this is the input. Okay, fine. So this is familiar thing. So I don't have to work much on that. That is why the child was counting. So when child is counting, child knows counting. Counting is a daily effort for him. So child feels that, okay. But remember, whenever we are producing we are using one sense for an output, automatically your sensory input becomes less. That is very common. When you are looking at the screen and looking at me on this talk, you are giving sensory input attention here. So automatically your visual input for outside other things has become less.
Yes.
Okay. So a child who is visually hypersensitive, a child who needs less of input, wants to close input, what child does? Either close eyes or look at one position, which he is familiar to him, so that other inputs are not coming. Focuses on one thing so that other inputs are reduced. Similarly, I produce sounds. So when I'm producing sound, my own sound is going in my ears, my input capacity is reduced. That is why the child was counting. Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Sir, is rubbing private parts come under sensory seeking behavior? How to distract child who does it? Yes. Rubbing private part may come under sensory seeking, but is child tactile, hyperactive, hypersensitive towards tactile? So you need to see whether child is touching other surfaces also, other skin, other parts of the skin also. If child is doing that, then okay, yes, it is tactile. Or otherwise, it may be associated with the pleasure check child gets. Remember, child with autism is growing. His body does not have any defect. Hormones are working. There are arousals, sexual arousals. All are there. It's just that child is not able to understand. So it may be for the pleasure also child is doing. With pleasure, it becomes a continuous habit also. So we have a session, I think, let me just check on, like, that session is there. Very important session that is there. Many parents have those concerns. Let me speak about that. Okay, after this now, next session is on nutrition, sleep and health in autism, developing daily life skills and independence. After that, social development and peer relationship, adolescent to and transition to adulthood. So transition from childhood to adolescent and adulthood. That is the time we will have that session. We might have to have 2 sessions, not 1. And there we'll be talking about all these concerns, about puberty, about touching the private part, about educating our children, about their menstrual cycle, the girls, female children. All of this we will discuss in detail there. So keep associated with us. I'll be sharing in the group. So maybe 3 or 4 sessions after this. Yes, Nishat, please unmute and speak, please.
Yeah, sir, I have a question that
Mhm.
the behavior, meltdown or tantrum, is it always associated with SI or there can be
No.
other reasons also?
Yes, there are other reasons also. Behavior is associated with the antecedents and consequence also. So if a behavior is giving me some sort of benefits, I continue doing that behavior. What are those benefits? You are teaching me, I am studying, but now I'm tired. I want to play. You are not allowing me to play. I'm non-verbal. I'm not able to explain it to you. I start crying. I throw the books. I become very hyper. So this hyperactivity at this situation is for escape. Escape from the existing activity and get into new activity. That is also behavior. That is first function of behavior. Second function,
like
yeah, just let
my
me complete.
daughter.
You'll get, give me 1
Okay.
minute, Nishat. Let me complete, and then you'll get your answer. So behaviors have 4 major functions. First function is escape. Second function, first as in you may say first, second, I'm just saying number. The other function is attention. There are many behavior that are attention driven behaviors. Children do it for seeking attention from you. Like child comes and hits you when you are continuously on phone. That is attention seeking behavior. Child comes and pinches you. That is attention seeking behavior. In a classroom, child makes different sounds. That is attention seeking behavior. So we need to understand the context, what was happening, what was the physical settings, environment, people who was involved, what child was doing, to understand what is the behavior. I mean, is it attention seeking, escape seeking, or tangible? Tangible is when child needs an item or activity. So child wants to play in the playground, child start doing the behavior. Child wants to have an ice cream, child does the behavior. Child wants to say have some a teddy bear or a toy, child does this behavior. So those are tangible behaviors that are for some activity or some food, some item. Okay. Then comes sensory behaviors. So first 3 behaviors, escape, attention, and tangible, we work on the behaviors. We can't modify behavior directly working on behavior, but we work on the antecedent or consequence. What child is getting by doing that behavior, we change that, or prehand we give that, so behavior does not appear. But in sensory behaviors, we work on the regulation. We provide the sensory alternatives, sensory diet, sensory integration therapy, and provide. So behaviors are for 4 major functions, not only for sensory. Now, please come up with your question, Aisha. I'm sorry I
my
stopped you
daughter.
between, but I just wanted to complete.
No, sir, that's perfectly fine. My daughter goes to school, and she goes to a special school. And whenever they give her homework, then she is very like fond of doing homework, because if you do the homework, then you get a reward for that. So, but she will not take an initiative to do it on her own, even though that has been explained to her many a times. I mean, she has some fear or what is there in her, I don't know. But if we sit with her and we just give a prompt, then she'll be able to do that. But if I tell her that you at least you try on her own, then she'll start giving behavior like, no, let me do it right now. You come with me, you complete it, and she'll not listen unless and until it is completed.
So that means child is seeking your attention.
Yeah, but she doesn't takes an initiative of her own. That is my issue. Like, and for that she will show behavior and whatever tantrum or behavior. I'm not able to differentiate that, because there's a
So
thin line.
here it is not it is not the behavior for this. It is behavior. It is for initiation part. Children with autism struggle with starting things, taking initiative. So there are separate trainings and therapies that we need to provide. We need to give activities where child needs to take the lead role. Small activities where which are child-driven activities we need to teach to the child. Where child starts taking initiative. So close these books, give options or 2 options. Let the child choose what child wants to do next. Now, since child enjoys doing homework, so you might be getting homework for different topics or subjects. So one subject, okay, you do the initiation, but rest 2 subjects, you give the options. Just ask the child, okay, pick and choose, do it yourself. So let the child pick. So initiation part is missing, and that happens with many children in autism. They don't understand how to initiate. They need support at that time. Be it the conversation, be it the activity. So with various plannings, therapies, we can definitely work on it. So if you can connect with me individually, you can send me a WhatsApp. I will give you case history form. You give me the detailed case history, detailed child's details, and situational detail. I'll give you ABC form also. You can fill up the ABC form for this behavior at least for 7-8 times. On basis of that, I can definitely help you. Behavioral communication, I have on my YouTube channel, I have 2 sessions on behavioral communication, part 1 and part 2. So ABC form, I have explained it there, intention, behavior, and consequence. You can see that video. You will also understand how to create ABC form and how to understand the behavior. I can
Okay,
make
thank you.
I can make the list of activities, give those list of activities that you can do with your child, and you will see improvement in initiation part. But I need to
Okay.
understand your child first. There cannot be one formula that fits for all. So intervention in autism has to be child or person specific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
All right, Vashnibi. Yes.
Hello, sir. Hello, everyone.
Sorry, you were waiting for
Uh,
long. Yes.
No, it's no worries. In fact, I don't have any direct connection with the issue, but last time I told you about connecting a kid with autism in our skating club. But now the father just sent a message for normally we have the session Sundays, and today he sent a message to say that the kid is no longer not interested in the point of view of the parents, not interested and lack capacities. Unfortunately, we can't force the parents to bring the child. But if you don't mind, I'll be in with the webinar just to have more knowledge about autism, about the kids, about behaviors, so that whenever there's some other kids joining or we have to face such situation, I can help or have hints to parents. And I see in the group you have many Mauritian parents also from Mauritius. You have participants from Mauritius, and I'm open if they want to send a message or try to join us. Be most welcome. We can also work together, and it will be a pleasure when you come to Mauritius to visit our club also.
Sure.
You just send me a
Definitely, I
message.
would love to do that. So in Mauritius, I am associated with the Angel Special School and Welfare Association. And from there, we keep on working together. We are working together beautifully and making difference in children. We are seeing a lot of difference in children. So yes, I visited last year, so I may visit soon
In
again.
fact, I added
So
I added the parent in the group. So maybe I'll send him a message to say if you want personal advice from you, he can also connect with you if he wanted
yes,
more
sure. I'm available to
information.
support
So he's
as much
already in
as.
the webinar group. He's already in the group. So whenever he can join, I think it will be okay. He can also join
And you
in.
can also send the details of your venture about this skating group. You can send the details in the WhatsApp group so that the parents who have not joined today, they can also see and if they can be benefited by that.
Yeah, okay, that's it.
So you can send it there, not a problem.
Oh, they have my number on the group, so they can just connect with me directly. And
That's what I'm saying. Just put a flyer or put a message there so that they know this is your number and they can connect with you.
Fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
And thanks for correcting me. It's 12th of March, not 11th of March. Thank you. Thank you for correcting me.
Okay.
Bhagirathi is an occupational therapist. Oh, I have been searching for an occupational therapist, Bhagirathi, in Mauritius. So I'm glad that you are here because there are some kids I may refer to you. So I'll connect with you personally and then we will speak about it. Shreya says, Doctor, how to reduce the behavior of chewing of items? Things like sponges, on-dress, foam, soft toys. Chewing is directly related to the sensory behavior. And I told you not to work on sensory behavior directly, sensory seeking behavior, you provide the safe alternatives. So safe alternatives, we have chewing tubes, chewing items that are edible. We need to provide those items to the child. So child is doing for chewing for this tactile sensory input. That is oreomotor input. And then an occupational therapist, therapies from occupational therapist will help you. But immediately you can provide the safe alternatives and let the child understand what is edible, what is not edible, work on that. So that child, you can work through visual card, depending upon child's age. You can work through visual card or through verbal, what child's cognition is according to that. You can plan activities. to make child understand that this is accepted to eat, this is not accepted to eat, and then give the accepted alternatives. If you just teach what is accepted, what is not, child will still continue to take this in mouth because that is his sensory need. So child will continue to take it, do it. So you need to give safe alternatives. You can search on internet, Amazon and all. Chewing tubes are available. There are a lot of items that are edible and chewable that is available for the child. Chewing candies are also there, which are safe for the children. Not in excess, but limited use, you can give it. So you can plan a sensory diet. You can give it after every 1 hour, after every 2 hours, a small bite of some candy that can be given. Or now this time candy, this time I give the chewing tube. Likewise, you can plan whole sensory diet. But I would request involve an occupational therapist if possible in this who's trained on sensory integration in the whole sensory diet planning. Results would be much better because an expert can give you better proper planning as per your child needs. So child needs to be assessed first. Okay, Sangeeta. Yes, Sangeeta, you're asking a question now. No problems. How can we identify interoception difficulties in children? For example, recognizing feelings like needing the toilet, feeling hungry, thirsty, or tired. What kind of therapy activities can help children understand these body signals, just like we use fine motor exercises when fine motor skills are weak? Okay. So for interoception, we need to first make them aware about their body. First, we need to make them aware. Where is my stomach? Where is my head? Where is this? And then give them teddy bear. What we do is modeling for them and we show it that teddy bear is having headache. Headache is here. Teddy bear is uncomfortable. Teddy bear is having stomach is tight. Teddy bear is comfortable. We touch their stomach. We press it. And by pressing, we make them feel the pain. Press that much. I mean, not too hard, but not too soft also. So that they understand, feel pain, and then make them realize, see, this is stomach pain. So this is stomach pain. This is head pain. Likewise, we teach them. Okay, Sangeeta?
Okay, thank you, Dr. Sir.
Thank you, sir. First session joined today. Wonderful session with good advices. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Selvini. Other sessions we have already done are available on my YouTube channel. Link, I've shared it multiple times in the group. I will probably share one more time and pin it. So anybody who wants to go there, you can go there on the YouTube channel and see those links. Do we need to have a certified OT or any therapist consultation, or even experienced therapists can work on sensory integration? See, sensory integration is part of occupational therapy. All autists know it in the basics of it, but certified sensory integration experts with experience counts more. So I'm not saying that other OTs cannot work on it, but if you look for someone who is certified sensory integration expert, that would be better. Let me know your location, Shreya. Where are you from? If I know your location, I may refer some of the sensory integration trained therapists, occupational therapists. Kathmandu. Okay, I will look for in our database because we have sensory integration training program, the entire complete 1 month training program, 16 hours of sessions, total 8 sessions, only on sensory integration. So from that list, I will see if somebody has attended it from Kathmandu, then I will share that number and you may connect with that person. Just put me a reminder, Shreya, tomorrow, and I will ask the team to look into the database, because sensory integration, we have completed 23 batches so far. So many, I mean, more than 300 professionals, occupational therapists and physiotherapists, we have trained on it. So we can probably, if somebody is from Kathmandu or nearby, we can refer that to you. If not available, in that case, we can support you via online also. Dr. Kanan Doshi, she is the sensory integration expert, NDT expert with 32 years of work experience, MOT, the director of Lakshya Pediatric Rehab Center, co-founder and director of the Able Company. So we can book an online consultation with her. She can observe the child. She can understand the concerns, plan sensory diet, give you guidance on sensory activities that you can do. So that can also be done. whatever you are comfortable with. First, my preference would be first physical. If we have someone available there, then it is better. Otherwise, we can do it virtually as well. Okay? Just remind me tomorrow, because today I have been taking sessions since morning 10 o'clock, and now I'm going to end my day. I have not stood up from my chair. So today, whatever is coming, I may end up forgetting it. Sensory overload. Okay. So I may avoid it. I may avoid taking that input. So tomorrow, just put me a text on WhatsApp. I will do the needful. Okay, thank you. Any other questions, or we can wind up for today? Thank you everyone. Wish you all the best. Have a beautiful week ahead. All Mauritian people have lovely Independence Day on 12th of March. Enjoy, and looking forward to see you on next Sunday, same time, 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. Thank
Thank
you
you,
everyone.
Dr. Alok.
Thank you.
Thank
Oh,
you
Bobby,
so
you're
much,
also
sir.
there. Good.
Yeah. Came
Thank
in
you.
late,
Nice to
sorry.
see you. Nice to see you. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.